And hello, beautiful YouTube besties. Another video quite soon after my other one. I know this is shocking. You will notice the shawl. It's freezing in the bedroom right now. So yeah, I'm pretty wrapped up. It's quite chilly. So I don't really know what to do for this video. I wanted to definitely start uploading more, but I wasn't 100% sure kind of what I wanted to do. I apologize because I look so tired, which is sad because I've been sleeping really well recently. So you know, there's that. Anyway, rambling over. So as a disclaimer, I hate Valentine's Day. I think it is a pointless holiday and it has nothing to do with St. Valentine at all. It is a commercialist holiday and I hate it. I also don't like romance books. So this is a really hard time of year for me to make videos. But I have picked a few of my favorites, like stories that have romance kind of aspects to them that I want to recommend to you guys. And I'm also going to show you three, I believe, three books that I am hoping to get to in February, just to try and, you know, get the love vibes going. So without further ado, let's start with my Recs. I'm going to start off with a really obvious one, and it's one that everyone talks about. The Song of Achilles, because, like, babe, honestly, Achilles and Patroclus, I have read this book once and it has literally haunted me ever since. I can't talk to people about this book without getting emotional. Like, the love story between them is so beautiful. Like, I cannot recommend this enough. If you love, like, the Greek myths and legends and you haven't read this, please do. Madeline Miller is such a phenomenal author. I think I own like 2 or 3 of her other books that I am definitely getting to at some point this year, hopefully. But yeah, The Song of Achilles is obviously about the myth and legend of Achilles, the Battle of Troy, etc. But it's told from the perspective of Patroclus, who is, I'll read you the synopsis if you've not heard it. Greece in the age of heroes, Patroclus, an awkward young prince, has been exiled to the court of King Peleus and his perfect son Achilles. Despite their differences, Achilles befriends the shamed prince, and as they grow into young men skilled in the arts of war and medicine, their bond blossoms into something deeper, despite the displeasure of Achilles' mother, Thetis, a cruel sea goddess. But when word comes that Helen of Sparta has been kidnapped, Achilles must go to war in distant Troy and fulfill his destiny. Torn between love and fear for his friend, Patroclus goes with him, little knowing that the years that follow will test everything they hold dear. You guys, it's beautiful. Like, honest to God, like, oh, I wish I had adequate words to explain to you just how much I loved this book, because I cannot. And it hurts me. Like, I was literally sobbing at the end. Like, I could not stop crying. But yeah, like, just do it. Just do it if you haven't. So The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. So next one, no surprises that this is on here, Discovery of Witches. I know it's technically not a romance, but like, if you've read it, come on. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, Diana and Matthew, like, come on. Like, I can't recommend it enough, honest to God. Like, it's just, it's so good. But I don't want to give too much of the story away. But then I also talked about this in, I think, 3 other videos, so I'm not going to go over it again. Discovery of Witches, Deborah Harkness, wonderful romance. So the next book I'm going to recommend is actually the first in a series, and it is my favourite series of all time, and that is A Taste of Blood Wine by Frida Warrington. And now, as part of the Blood Wine series, it is about vampires and all of the drama and politics that go on within a vampire's kind of like society. However, it is written in such an adult way that I devoured this, like, in the respective, because a lot of the vampire novels that have been released in the last few years have read very YA, to me personally, like, I need them to read a little bit more adult. Like, like, if you've read Discovery of Witches, you'll know what I mean by that. I need it to read like the Discovery of Witches, and this, it absolutely does. Like, the writing and the descriptions are so gorgeous. Like, ooh, I can't express enough how good a writer Frida Warrington is. And the love story between Carl and Charlotte is a really, really lush one. It's so, it's like one of those romances for the ages. Do you know what I mean? Like, not quite love at first sight, but soulmates and stuff like that. So it's really, really good. And there are 4 books in this series. And the more books you read, the more characters are involved. And it becomes this whole huge thing. I can't really tell you the story because it sort of ruins it, but I will read you the synopsis of A Taste of Blood Wine. On a First World War battlefield, vampire Karl Waltendorf struggles to free himself from his domineering maker Christian. The Neville sisters flourish in a decadent, hedonistic London society in 1923. Champagne, parties, and the latest illegal substances, all except Charlotte, the middle of the 3 sisters, who hides in the corner wishing she were back in Cambridge, helping her professor father with his scientific experiments. When Charlotte meets her father's new research assistant, Carl, it is the beginning of a deadly obsession that divides her from her sisters, her father, and even her dearest friend. What price are they willing to pay to stay together? You have to. Like, honestly, this is a series not enough people know about, and it is my favourite series of all time. So if you love vampires, just go for it. If you're an Anne Rice girly, you have to. Speaking of Anne Rice, I am going to give Interview with a Vampire honourable mention, because we all know that Louis and Lestat were in love, and I will fight anyone who says otherwise. So my very last rec, and I managed to find my beautiful version of this just for this video, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I love this book. I love this story so much. Like, Mr. Darcy. Like, I love Mr. Darcy. It's just such a gorgeous story. And I mean, it's a classic for a reason. I found this in a charity shop. I think I paid like £2 for it. And it's like completely illustrated, like the entire way through the book. I'm trying to find. So these are like, because obviously in the middle, like, you've got just like your illustrated sections, but throughout the book and like throughout the chapters, you have actually got illustrations and everything. And oh, it was too gorgeous to not pick up. Like, look at it. But we all know the story of Pride and Prejudice. Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy, enemies to lovers, sweet, shy, autistic, socially awkward, beautiful man. Mr. Darcy. Pride and Prejudice, my last recommendation. Definitely check it out if you haven't. So now we are going on to my kind of like TBR, I guess, for February. I don't normally do TBRs because I am a mood reader, for sure. So I don't know, like the thought of having a TBR kind of stresses me out. But I am going to try for at least February, see how I get on with it, and then potentially make a TBR jar and see if that is something that we can do going forward, because I would love to be able to do a TBR jar. I just think it sounds so fun. So without further ado, here are my TBR, I guess. So I will preface by saying that I am about, I don't know, like a quarter of the way through the 12th Wheel of Time book. So I'm hoping to get that finished before I start anything else, because normally those books take me months to read. Like, I'm so invested in the story, but like, I'm 12 books in, babe. Do you know what I mean? I'm tired. Very tired. Like, I'm ready for it to be over. I've got like 2 more books after this and then it's done. And I love the series, but Jesus Christ, I need it to be over at this point. But my very first on my TBR is The Shadow of Night by Deborah Harkness, which is the sequel to Discovery of Witches. I've been meaning to read this since I finished Discovery of Witches, to be honest, but I just haven't had the time. I had so much to read in January. It was unbelievable. Like, I really, really overestimated how much I was capable of. And then I had like a full like breakdown because I wasn't able to do it. And I got too many library books out, and I got very upset because I had to return most of them. But yeah, so this one is definitely on my TBR for February. I'm not too intimidated by the size, because this is about the size of the last one, and I absolutely devoured it. So that is the first book. We've got Shadow of Night by Deborah Harkness. Secondly is In Memoriam by Alice Wynne. So this is a gay romance, and I know that it's set in World War One or World War Two. And if you have been following my videos and my Instagram and stuff, you know that I have like a newfound interest and love for World War Two and everything that's happened. Like, I recently finished Band of Brothers. I've got a lot of World War Two books, like non-fiction books that I want to start reading, and I feel like I'm in the right headspace now for In Memoriam. I know it's going to make me cry. I mean, most things do. I'm an emotional bitch. I'm a Leo on the cusp of Cancer, so I feel that says enough. If you know astrology, you know astrology. But yeah, so In Memoriam, Alice Wynne, that is definitely one on my list. It is a hardback, and it's not huge, so I'm hoping I'll get it done. And then my very last one, which is actually on my 25 for 25, is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. So it's not like your typical romance, because Heathcliff and Cathy are awful people from what I've been told. It's not a great romance, but it's a romance, and it's on my 25 for 25, so I want to get it read. And you know, we have the song by the iconic Kate Bush, so I need to know what that's all about. But yeah, Wuthering Heights is one I've wanted to read for such a long time, and I figure no better time to read it than right now, if I'm honest. Like, I don't know why I picked that, but I did. So yeah, those are my 3 that I'm currently adding to my February TBR. I'm hoping I can get through them fairly quickly. I might honestly start one of them now, because with the Wheel of Time I have to take breaks, because it's such a long series, and like the books are so long, and like it's tiring to some extent. And with all of that said, I have literally, out of one of my boxes, just pulled The Brick, because apparently I'm an insane person. Like, I finally want to give Les Mis a go, and like, babe, if I thought some of the other books on my TBR were intimidating, like, look at it, like, it's called The Brick for a reason. Do you know what I mean? Like, unbelievable. Like, how many pages are there? 1,232. I don't remember the last time I read a book that long. It was probably one of the Wheel of Times, and it was smaller than this. I'm afraid, friends. I'm very afraid. However, we're gonna do it, even if it takes me all year and I have to read it in sections. I'm gonna frickin' do it. Like, I'm gonna read Les Mis this year. Like, I am determined. So that is also being added to my TBR. So that is that for that. I don't really have a lot else to say, to be honest. I did have a question though, and this is something that I mentioned in Leah Crumpton's Discord, which is available if you pay for the Patreon, which is very worth it. We have a monthly and bi-monthly book club in there. We have discussions, you know, on a lot of the time about like harder subjects and stuff like that. And I was curious because one of my very good friends at the moment, she is in college and she's studying, and one of the things she's studying is requiring her to look into Germany in World War II. And her teacher actually said that she owns a copy of Mein Kampf, and if anyone wanted to borrow it, then they could. So that got me thinking, like, what are people's opinions on stuff like reading Mein Kampf and the Communist Manifesto and like the Anarchist's Bible, I think it's called, like, you know, all the really controversial kind of taboo books that you're not really supposed to. Like, do you think it's okay to read them, like, you know, in a kind of like know your enemy way, or just to educate yourselves, or do you think that they should be completely banned? Like, I'm very curious. Like, my partner is a staunch proponent of no book should be banned. Do you know what I mean? Like, books should be read by everyone. Like, as long as they're read for the right reasons. So I asked this in the Discord, and we had a really good chat about it. So I'm just very curious, if I'm honest, about what everyone else thinks. I am hoping to get maybe another 1 or 2 videos out this month. One of them might just be like a reading vlog, if I ever, you know, can find somewhere to actually do it. Oh my god, I completely forgot. I could have done a promo in this video. I'm gonna do a quick promo. My book, The Bonds That Bind Us, by Stephanie Tucker, which is me. It's a gay romance, insta-lust, soulmates, found family, get trauma healing. So basically it's about Jackson. Jackson Alexander is an up-and-coming stylist in the fashion industry, and he is going through some shit because his family are homophobic. He doesn't really have any friends, and he's struggling with physical and mental and emotional abuse from his family. And then on a fashion set that he has been literally called into last minute, he meets Luke O'Neill, who is my very beautiful Irish American actor. And he is very much a homebody, and the two of them grow quite close, and Jackson gets basically encompassed in their family dynamic, in the O'Neill's family dynamic, and it's about, you know, the relationship between the two of them blossoming, as well as the relationship between Luke's family and Jackson blossoming, and, you know, the consequences of those actions, because obviously Jackson's family aren't going to be happy about this. So it goes through all of that, and it's a real exploration of mental health and trauma as well, because whilst I love a good love story if it's done the right way, I also want to use my voice to be able to speak about things that I feel aren't represented well enough, and that includes mental health, it includes trauma, it includes the queer experience. And I'm very proud of this book and what it can offer people. I'm hoping in April that I will be able to put it free on Kindle again. I have to wait because when you publish your Amazon, there's a certain waiting time that before you can put it kind of for free for a week. So I'm going to do that. The covers have changed. I will post somewhere a picture of my new covers that my lovely friend Bobby made me. And I am currently in the process of writing the 3rd book. I want to say halfway through, but I'm not 100%. It's a first draft, babe. We don't know what's going to happen. I've already had a character do a complete 180. Do you know what I mean? A complete 180, what is it? Character development thing. And I'm just you know what, go off, sis. Go off. I wasn't expecting this for you, but if this is the route you want to go, I'm fine with it. So yeah, that is The Bonds That Bind Us by me. Okay, so that is everything. I couldn't resist the chance to have a cheeky little style promo in a book about romance books. In a book about romance books, in a video about romance books. I do this all the time. Honestly, my partner gets so fed up of it. I'll say books when I mean videos or music or something like that. Books have taken over my whole cognizance. I blame YouTube and Instagram, you bastards. If you've stayed until this point, if you are new, like and subscribe and all the other YouTube stuff. If you aren't new here, thank you for coming back and thank you for supporting me. All of my links are on my link tree, which I will link down the bottom, as well as Leah's YouTube, because she's just wonderful. She's literally one of my favorite people in the whole world. She's a wonderful YouTuber. She's a wonderful person. Go and support her. She is fantastic. And yeah, I'm hoping to get another couple of videos up. So fingers crossed this. Do you know what I mean? We'll see how it goes. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.